Barcelona board are advancing very well in talks to extend the contract for one more season. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we touch on Carlo Ancelotti, on Real Madrid, the situation after the final loss against Barcelona. Also something to say on Matheus Cunha, Ederson, Hansi Flick, and much more. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, let me start this video by mentioning congratulations. Let me say congratulations to Barcelona because they won the Copa del Rey, so a really special day for Barcelona, a special day for Liverpool, a special day for several clubs around the world, but for sure Barcelona, with their Copa del Rey win, confirm once again this great feeling they have with the coach Hansi Flick, and my understanding remains that Hansi Flick, his agent Pini Zahavi, and Barcelona board are advancing very well in talks to extend the contract for one more season, so from 2026 to 2027. Why not longer? Because Hansi Flick doesn't want any long contract, and it's not something negative, it's just his style, as he said sometimes in press conference, really relaxed, the full focus on present, full focus on winning titles, not on having long contracts, big salaries. This is the mentality of Hansi Flick, and we can see the results. So congratulations to Hansi Flick. It's been a tense final on the other side for Real Madrid. So it's been a complicated one, of course, on the pitch, but also with some red cards. Jude Bellingham, Lucas Vazquez, also a red card for Tony Rüdiger. A long suspension is expected. It's important to say, but it's really important to say something also internally at Real Madrid about Tony Rüdiger, because I saw many comments after the tense moment he had yesterday with the referee. Tony Rüdiger released a statement saying sorry, apologizing also to the referee and to all the people involved for what he did last night. But at the same time, Real Madrid know very well, and all the people who know Tony Rüdiger know very well what kind of person he is. So Tony Rüdiger is not judged in a negative way by anyone at Real Madrid, and not only. So they know that Rüdiger is a leader of this team. He was wrong last night. He did something wrong. So Tony Rüdiger said sorry, putting his face, his words to the world to apologize. So that's something that we have to absolutely report. But at the same time, it's also important to mention how Real Madrid know what kind of person is Tony Rüdiger. He's not that kind of person. It was a tense moment after losing 3 Clásicos this season for Real Madrid, losing a trophy, so it was a really difficult moment for a leader like Tony Rüdiger. That was the reaction. But Real Madrid don't have any doubts, and also, let me say, all people in football who know what kind of person Tony Rüdiger is. That's a fair point to mention. On Real Madrid, guys, also something important to say, of course, on the future of Carlo Ancelotti. Because if you're following me, I told you several times how is a strong possibility, a concrete possibility to see Carlo Ancelotti leaving Real Madrid at the end of the season. This final was always going to be important to see the reaction after the Champions League. One more loss for Real Madrid. Okay, the second half was quite good, but in general, Real Madrid are not getting the trophy, losing 3 Clásicos against Barcelona. So the expectation remains the same for Carlo Ancelotti to leave Real Madrid. That's the expectation, that's the clear plan. Then we all wait for Real Madrid formal steps, so for Florentino Perez to take care of that. But let me say that the Brazilian Federation is more than confident to get Carlo Ancelotti as new head coach. And as I told you, it's not a topic of timing, because Brazil have no interest in waiting for this Carlo Ancelotti story to be till the end of the season, after the Clubs World Cup. That's not the case. The clear story here is that Brazil want Ancelotti at the beginning of June as their head coach. It's really important for Brazil. So forget about Ancelotti going after the Club World Cup. It's now or never, and Brazil believe that it will be now. They are very confident. They offered a really important salary. They believe internally in the federation that would be the best salary for the coaches of national team. So that would be something massive in terms of financial proposal. The coach for the World Cup, but also prepared to accept what Ancelotti wants in terms of staff. So Brazil are prepared to do everything. One person from the Brazilian Federation was in Sevilla last night, will be in Spain this week to have new contacts. So Brazil are pushing to have Carlo Ancelotti. Brazil are confident to have Carlo Ancelotti very soon. Waiting for what? For Real Madrid to make a formal decision and also to say goodbye to Carlo Ancelotti in a nice way. That's what they expect in the Brazilian Federation. But again, let's wait for Real Madrid. Let's wait for Florentino Perez for this step of the story. Then, guys, important to mention something also on Brazilians, because we said about Carlo Ancelotti and the Seleção, 2 players who could be part of his Seleção are Ederson from Manchester City and Matheus Cunha from Wolves, or maybe soon from Manchester United. Why? Because For Matheus Cunha, we are entering into important days. As I told you, Man United are in very advanced talks to sign Matheus Cunha, record goals in Premier League in a single season with 15 for a Brazilian player, together with Firmino and Martinelli. So congratulations to Cunha, but important to say that they really believe in Manchester United, they can close this deal for Matheus Cunha very soon. Why? Because they're prepared to pay the release clause, £62.5 million, but in installments, so they still need the contact with Wolves. The contacts with the player side, as I told you 1 week ago, are going very well, but very well. Matheus Cunha is keen on the move, the project is attracting, the salary is being discussed, so let's wait for the final steps of the story, but the agreement between Cunha and Man United is not expected to be a problem. Man United will be ready to pay that money also to the club, I mean to Wolves, and so the expectation is to see Matheus Cunha as the first signing of the summer for Manchester United. So that's the idea, that's the plan. Then guys, we will follow all the steps, but the general idea is to see Matheus Cunha wearing red next season at Old Trafford. And then the other player is Ederson at Manchester City, because 1 year ago Ederson was quite close to moving to Saudi Arabia, then the deal didn't happen. There was no agreement between Manchester City and the Saudi clubs for Ederson. Man City wanted important money from Saudi, they wanted the player, they discussed with the player, but it didn't close the deal with the Saudis. Now Man City have again received approaches from several clubs for Ederson. So there is interest in Ederson. At the moment there is still no official bid on the table at Manchester City, so the situation remains open, but Manchester City anticipates a move from Saudi clubs and not only for Ederson. So the expectation is for something to happen around the Brazilian goalkeeper, who is a really important goalkeeper for Manchester City, a player who's always been highly rated by Pep Guardiola, by all people at the club. But it's also important to say that 1 year ago, Ederson was open to moving, open to going to Saudi, then the deal didn't happen. They decided to continue with Ederson and with Stefan Ortega, but the original plan at Man City 1 year ago was Ortega, first goalkeeper, and bring in a young goalkeeper. There was a player from Germany that they liked as second goalkeeper. It didn't happen because Ederson didn't leave the club. Now we can say that there are new possibilities open for Manchester City in case Ederson leaves the club. Diogo Costa at Porto is a player they appreciate. I'm told he's not the only one, there are more options, but the future of Ederson at Manchester City is considered to be absolutely open, with a concrete chance of leaving the club in the summer transfer window. Then, guys, we will be following everything on Brazilian players like Cunha, like Ederson, and especially on the Brazilian coach, because Carlo Ancelotti looks close to become the new head coach of the Brazilian national team, waiting for important steps on this story. Also, with Xabi Alonso, let me remind that once again, clear favorite to become the new head coach at Real Madrid. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. A new deal for Hansi Flick, Ancelotti in Brazil, but also Matheus Cunha, Ederson, much more. Guys, let me know your opinion, as always, here in the comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Many things are coming, many videos are coming. See you soon. Ciao.